All right, let's talk about a word that's been the bad guy in our diets for, well, decades. Cholesterol. We've all been told to be scared of it, right? Especially in things like eggs and red meat. But what if the story we've been told is kind of wrong? Let's dig in.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? And look, the answer isn't a simple yes or no, but exploring it opens up this whole fascinating story about how our bodies actually work. And honestly, it might just change how you think about healthy eating.
You know the drill. Don't eat the egg yolks. Trim every single bit of fat off your meat. For pretty much generations, the message has been super clear. The cholesterol you eat clogs your arteries. But what if that cornerstone of nutritional advice is actually built on some pretty shaky ground? Let's get into the science that's starting to challenge that whole idea.
Okay, so before we can really start busting this myth, we need a super quick crash course. To get why the old story is starting to fall apart, you gotta meet the main characters in your body's cholesterol system first.
The easiest way to think about this is with a little analogy. Imagine your bloodstream is a highway, and cholesterol needs trucks to get around. Well, HDL trucks are the recycling trucks. They're the cleanup crew, right? They grab extra cholesterol and haul it away from your arteries. Then you have LDL, the delivery trucks. They bring cholesterol to your cells where it's needed. Now, the delivery itself isn't bad, but the problem starts when you have way too many delivery trucks on the road, causing a traffic jam, and that can lead to buildup.
So that's HDL, high-density lipoprotein. We call it the good cholesterol because it's actively helping to keep your arteries clear. Generally speaking, a higher HDL number is a really good sign for your heart health.
And on the other side, you've got LDL, or low-density lipoprotein. This one gets the bad label because when you have too much of it floating around, it can contribute to that plaque buildup in your arteries. That's a condition called atherosclerosis. And yeah, that's definitely what we're trying to avoid.
And finally, let's talk about triglycerides. Now, these aren't technically cholesterol, but they're always measured in the same blood test because they're a huge indicator of your overall metabolic health. High levels can be a major red flag.
Okay, now that we've got the players straight, we can get to the absolute heart of the myth. This is the whole ballgame right here, understanding the difference between the cholesterol you eat and the cholesterol your own body makes. They're not the same thing.
This right here. This is the idea that changes everything. The cholesterol you get from whole foods, like an egg, is not inherently dangerous. Now, that statement flies in the face of what most of us have been taught our entire lives. So, how could this possibly be true?
Well, it's all because your body is just incredibly smart. See, your liver is basically a cholesterol factory. When you eat foods that contain cholesterol, your liver just gets the memo and slows down its own production. It's this amazing feedback loop that's designed to keep everything in balance, a state called homeostasis. It's not like a bucket that just overflows. It's a really sophisticated, self-regulating system.
So if our bodies are that intelligent, what does the actual evidence say about eating animal foods that contain cholesterol? Let's take a look at the research that's causing this huge shift in thinking.
What the science is starting to show is pretty fascinating. It turns out, for most of us, the connection between the cholesterol you eat in your food and the amount of cholesterol in your blood is, well, it's surprisingly weak. And context is everything. Your body handles the cholesterol in a nutrient-packed whole egg way differently than it handles the weird fats and sugars in a highly processed donut. It's becoming super clear that your overall way of eating is what really moves the needle, not just one single nutrient.
And all of this leads us to a really important reframing. We've spent so many years treating cholesterol like it's this public enemy number one. But what if it's not the villain? What if, and stick with me here, what if it's actually a hero?
It's the obvious next question, right? If our body goes to all this trouble to make and regulate cholesterol, what is it actually for? Why do we even need this stuff?
The answer might honestly blow your mind. It's involved in pretty much everything. Cholesterol is absolutely 100% essential for you to be alive. It's the starting material for critical hormones. It's how your body uses sunlight to make vitamin D. Every single cell in your body needs cholesterol to build its walls. You literally can't digest fat without it. And get this, your brain is packed with it and needs it to work properly. So let's just be crystal clear. We cannot function without cholesterol. Far from being some kind of dietary poison, it's a fundamental building block that your body works around the clock to produce and maintain. It's that important. Which leaves us here with this one last really important question. If the cholesterol in our food isn't the big bad villain we were told it was, then what should we be paying attention to for our heart health? Now that is the new conversation we all need to be having. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.